Hello, welcome to another episode of the Buttpod. High drama in today's episode. Actually, that's not even true. This is the culmination of the high drama that was in the previous video. Perhaps you saw the previous one that was entitled Time to Panic. I'm not going to go through the whole thing about why you could watch that video. I'll link to it below, I'll link to it below. I'll give you the gist of it here. The nuts and bolts of it was, last week I was in Toronto shooting a stand-up comedy special at the Danforth Music Hall. It was a big show, 6 cameras. It was a great shoot. But I like to pull out my own camera in the middle of the show and do a little vlog-and-style Q&A with the crowd. I put a lot of those up here on this channel. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like stand-up comedy stuff, podcast stuff, or you'd like to see behind-the-scenes footage of Corner Gas Animated, other TV and film projects. Subscribe here. Click the little bell notification too. That way you'll always be alerted whenever I post a new video. You won't miss anything. Anyway, it was a fun Q&A. I had a good time, lots of laughs. Then I put the camera down, went back to doing my show, because that's not my stand-up comedy special. It's not just 90 minutes of me taking questions from the crowd. It's actually crafted and honed, professionally prepared stand-up comedy material for your viewing pleasure. But like I said, I like to pull out my own camera and have a little Q&A session in the middle of that. So I put it down, finished the special. Good night, everybody. Walked away, went back to the hotel, got on a plane the next morning, and realized I left my camera at the venue. Time to panic. Anyway, Tyler, the producer who put the comedy special together for me, he went back to the venue, picked it up, mailed it off to me. The package arrived at my manager's office. I tore into it. I opened it up. I should have done an unboxing video. It would have only taken about 4 seconds because I tore into it like a wild raccoon to see if everything was okay. Pulled out my camera. It looked okay. My microphone, my favorite microphone, the one I'm using right now. Oh, yeah. So then I popped open the camera, pulled out the SD card, put it in the laptop. There it was, the footage from the Q&A, all in good shape, and it was a lot of fun. I did have some laughs with the crowd that night. So, as promised, I'm going to post that up right now. Here I go, posting the Q&A from the Danforth Music Hall stand-up comedy special, Q&A interlude in the middle of the shoot. I hope you enjoy it. Give it a thumbs up if you do enjoy. If you don't enjoy, give it a thumbs down. Or you could just walk away without letting anybody know your opinions. Would that kill you? Would that be so weird? Everything is working here before I get the very flattering, like, why do I like this? It's jowling. I shouldn't be jowling, should I? The problem is I've lost weight now. So now you get that extra skin that used to be full of plump, happy fat. And now it's just sagging bits of want. Put some chocolate in here. That was the saddest story I ever told you. Did I say the phrase sagging bag of want just a moment ago? If you got a question, fire it out. Let's go over here. What? The next Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup. The Saskatoon Tornadoes. Sadly, it's going to be the year 2061. Yeah, it seems crazy, doesn't it, that we haven't won since 1993. There hasn't been a Canadian Stanley Cup champion. Yeah, Montreal. Thanks for filling in that detail. That was really lacking. The moment I said not since 1993, everybody just broke into individual discussion groups. And who do you think it was? I wish there was some guy here who drank too much who could tell us. I don't mean to judge you and say that you drank too much, but you sound super drunk. So I only have that bit of data to go by. What's that, sir? What's my word for Toronto? A word to sum up the city of Toronto? Is that what we're talking about? Did you just give me half a question? I don't know what happened there. It's a very cryptic question. I don't know how to answer that one. Right here, doing this all over again, but editing out some of the earlier stuff. So if you're not busy, 5 years from now, I don't know. Pardon me? What's the ancestry name? Where did butt originate? So you're tempted to say down south, right? But I'm above that, so I won't sully this exchange with that. It's from England. It's an English name. My ancestors are all English. and then they came over to Canada, and almost all of them stopped at Newfoundland and just went right to work. And a couple of the lazy ones drifted into the prairies and started a jewelry business. It's my ancestry. A lot of my cousins and uncles and stuff are in the jewelry business. For years, my uncle had a shop on Main Street, and then his son, my cousin, took over. And it was my favorite sign in the world. It said, "Butt Jewelry." So in town, it's a small town. You know there's a family named Butt. You think nothing of it, right? But I'm sure like people driving through that town, what the hell? Did that sign say Butt Jewelry? What the hell would you need that for? Come on, get some butt jewelry. Make it sparkle for the big dance. What's the weirdest heckle of my career? It happened very early on. I wasn't even pointing the camera at me there for a bit. I was like, yeah. I've been in show business 30 years. I know how stuff works. What's the weirdest heckle I ever had? Early on in my stand-up days, I was playing a club, and the show was going well, too. Normally you get heckled when it's not going well, right? The show was going well, but there was this woman, clearly she'd had too much to drink, and she kept yelling from the back of the room, "Tell the truth!" It's so weird. And I was just doing like super innocuous kind of material, you know. I was talking about funny things my mom said and all this kind of stuff, and "Tell the truth!" Very work. And I wanted this to stop. I wanted to solve the problem. What truth? The longer it went, the more prophetic and kind of strangely, "Are we in danger, miss? Tell the truth. There's an asteroid hurtling towards the planet. Do a joke about that." Yeah, that was weird. It wouldn't end. It was about 20 minutes, and there was no security, nobody to politely bounce her head off the wall, you know? So, pardon me? Who's my influence as a comedian? My family, probably. My family made me laugh a lot. When I was a little kid, I didn't know this was a thing you could do stand-up comedy. I was 12 years old before I saw anybody do stand-up comedy on TV. There used to be a TV show, an afternoon TV show, and it was nationally broadcast on CTV called The Alan Hamel Show. Is anybody old enough to remember that? The Alan Hamel Show. And then it later became The Alan Thicke Show, after Alan Hamel married Suzanne Summers and left to be her manager. So Alan Thicke took over. And that was my first exposure to stand-up comedians. I saw a guy named Kelly Monteith. He was the first comedian I ever saw. And it blew me away. I didn't know that you could make a living just talking, wearing a tidy suit, hair all feathered back. So I went out and I told my mom right then, that day, 12 years old. As soon as he was done, I walked out and I said, I want to be a comedian. And she said, "Go do it outside." You're the youngest of 7 kids. She just wants a little quiet, you know. Do whatever you want. I give 2 rats' asses. If it's out of the house and not illegal, I don't care. One more question, then we'll wrap this thing up. Good Lord, he wanted to make sure that was the one. Just powering down everybody else. What's that?
Favorite corner gas moment?
Favorite corner gas moment? Probably when they said, "Hey, how would you like to do 13 episodes of this TV show?" That was hard to beat that. That was... But I remember my partners phoned me. They had a hard time finding me to talk, because it was kind of pre the days when everybody had a cell phone. Only the top CEOs of Wang Computers had a cell phone. So they couldn't track me down. Finally, they got word to me. They got me on the phone, and they were telling me that CTV wanted to do 13 episodes of the show. And I literally couldn't fathom it. I kept saying, what do you mean? And then they were like, finally, they're like, what aren't you getting here with this? You know that show that you just wrote and pitched? Uh-huh. They want to make it. Who does what? When? What does? Because you just can't wrap your head that this is going to happen. But it did. 107 episodes of the damn thing. Holy smokes. And then a movie and some cartoons. All right. One more thing a couple of things before you click off. One, if you're outside of Canada, remember you can always watch the original series, all 6 seasons, 107 episodes, and the movie on Amazon Prime Video. That's where you can watch it outside of Canada. Of course, in Canada, you can see it on Crave TV. Also, if you're a fan of podcasts, one of the biggest podcasts in the world, Mark Maron's podcast, WTF Podcast, which you can find at WTFpod.com or wherever you get your podcasts. He had me on as a guest a while back when I was down in LA on some business. It just got posted up. It was a lot of fun chat with him, so you can check that out. Check out the Mark Maron podcast. My episode is episode 1031, 1031. Was there something else? I thought there was something else, but I guess that's it. Thanks for watching these videos. I hope to see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you soon right here on the Buttpod.